people might go to a neighborhood and like, I really hope there's a good Thai restaurant. And that people say that, or like, oh, I want a really good pizza joint in my neighborhood. I don't think anybody moves to a neighborhood and is like, I really want a good Japanese Jewish restaurant in my neighborhood. What I hope is that when they come here, then they're like, oh, you know, I'm really glad that restaurant's in our neighborhood because it's unique and it's different, but it's always delicious, and it's something that adds to the sort of like uniqueness of like my experience. Well, the idea actually for like Shalom Japan happened like the summer we met, and I was doing research about like Jewish food, and I happened to pull out a Jewish food guidebook from New York City. And I was just reading the book, and then I'm like, ha, look at this place, Sawa. It was called Shalom Japan. And it was from 1983. And we very jokingly were like, if we ever open a restaurant, we should totally call it Shalom Japan. Like one of those things that you say that you know you will never be dumb enough to do. But of course we ended up doing that.
I love the name. It's so us. It's so easy to remember. People were like, what? Shalom Japan? It's so funny. But people won't forget about it, right?
Stories about me, a Jewish guy from Long Island, and then Sawa, who's a Japanese person from Japan, and we're both chefs, and it's sort of a restaurant that's designed around our shared experiences.
So this menu would work because a lot of similarities going on in Japanese and Jewish cooking.
I think we have enough items. We have enough items, I think, on our menu that kind of frame our concept, like the lox bowl and the challah and the okonomiyaki, the ramen. I've cured a lot of salmon, so this lox is something that's very familiar to me, and this idea of like fish over rice is something that's very familiar to you. So how do we take that and make it something that we both feel like really happy about eating together? I think with a lot of things, like nostalgia tastes really good to people. Like a good bowl of matzo ball soup is just something I could probably eat like every day. So it just, I don't know, it tastes like, a good bowl of matzo ball soup tastes like comfort.
Matzo ball, when I first tried it and we're like somewhere in New York, I'm like, this is just a bready bowl and a soup that's kind of flavorless and boring. But when I had his version of matzo ball soup, it has so much fun stuff in it. It has like a dumpling, he called it kleplak, really good matzo balls. And we changed the noodle to ramen noodle. And yeah, we take it off the menu and we get calls.
A lot of Jewish people would maybe say, oh, that's not Jewish. I slapped again. A lot of Jewish people say, oh, that's not Jewish. Like that there's no way. But that really changes so much more. Whereas I think when you asked me about how Japanese people feel when they try the okonomiyaki, they, I think, are like way more open to accepting that as like an okonomiyaki, as like a Jewish person would be as accepting that as Jewish food. I think when people first think about our restaurant, they think maybe it is challenging, and then once they come here, I think they realize it's a lot more accessible and comforting than they thought it was going to be. I love cooking with her. It's like, because we do it all, I mean, we do it on our day off too, like, if we get a day off. If we get a day off, we do it on our day off.
At the end, we thought it's either being together all the time in one restaurant or never together in the different restaurants. So the answer was, we want to be together all the time.